ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Hukamnama today is by Bhagt Ravi Daas ji on Ang 658 of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Satnam Sri Vaheguru Ji. Jo hum bante moh phas, हम प्रेम बदन तुम बाधे, अपने छूटन को जतन करहो, हम छूटे तुम आराधे. जो हम बांते मोह फास, हम प्रेम बदन तुम बाधे, अपने छूटन को जतन करहो, हम छूटे तुम आराधे. माधवे जानत हो जैसी तैसी, अब कहाँ करहोगे ऐसी रहाओ. मीन पकड़े फांक्यो आरो काट्यो, रांत कियो बहु बानी. खांड खांड कारे भोजन कीनो, तऊ न बिसरियो पानी. आपन बापै नाही किसी को, भावन को हर राजा. मोह पटल सब जगत व्याप्यो, भगत नहीं संतापा. कह रविदास भगत एक बाढ़ी, अब एह का स्यों कहिया. जा कारण हम तुम आराधे, सो दुख अजहू सहिया. कह रविदास भगत एक बाढ़ी, अब एह का स्यों कहिया. जा कारण हम तुम आराधे, सो दुख अजहू सहिया. Bhakt Ravi Daas Ji Maharaj is speaking to us through the Sora'H Ragini today. And Bhakt Ravi Daas Ji today is giving us a message that if there is one way to escape the attachment and entanglement of this world, it is only through truly loving and devoting oneself to Vaheguru, to the Lord, to God. And also in this Shabad today we see the power of Prem, the power of love. And we must remember, if we look at the word Prem, if we break up the word Prem, the word Prem is made up of two parts. Parema, that which is pare, beyond man, beyond ego. That is true love, where one is beyond all sense of self. True love is not 20%, 50%. True love has to be and always will be 100%. There is no other way. So, Bhakt Ravi Daas Ji talks today about that experience of true love. And Bhagt Ji has a direct conversation here with the Lord, with Vaheguru. Jo hum bante moh phas. Jo, when I was bande means to be entangled. When I was entangled with the fast, with the noose of moh, of attachment, what did I do? And if we go to the next line, Bhakt Ravi Daas Ji says, apne shootan ko jatan karho. I did a jatan. I tried a way, a method. Jatan means method. I tried out this method of shooting, of escaping. What was that method? Hum shoote tum aradhe. That method of liberation was aradhe, was meditation and pure true love for you, O Vaheguru. That is the way that I cut through the noose of entanglement, the noose of attachment which was around my neck. Bhagavad Ravi Daas is telling us at this point that the only way of escape from all attachment, from all of these things, is by attachment to one. If you are going to give up many attachments, attach yourself to one. That is what Gurmat is saying. That is what the wisdom of the Guru is saying. Instead of attaching ourselves to all of these transitory things, attach yourselves to the one eternal Vaheguru, and that will save you. And that attachment will be true because it will remain forever. These attachments are false and transitory. So Bhagavad Ji says, Jo hum bande moh paas. When I was bande, when I had these entanglements of moh paas, of the noose of attachment around my neck, hum prem bandhan tum badhe, I realized that I must meditate upon you. I was liberated, and I badhe, I bound you down, O Lord, with the bandhan, with the strings of prem, of love. Bhagavad Ravi Daas is talking to us of this pure state of love for Vaheguru. And Bhagavad Ravi Daas said, when I escaped from this entanglement of attachment, the only way I escaped was through meditation upon the Lord. And now, hum prem bandhan tum bande, I've bound down the Lord with my love. And Bhagat Namdev Ji mentions this same state of existence on Ang 1252 of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And Bhagat Ji says, Meri banti bhagt chadave. These words are God speaking to Bhagat Namdev Ji. Meri banti bhagt chadave. My Bhagat, my beloved devotee, can shadava, can liberate someone from bandi, my rules, my bounds. Par bandha bhagat na shootai mohe. But when I am bandha, when I am bound down with love by my bhagat, I cannot shoot it, I cannot escape. This is such an amazing and enlightening knowledge that Bhagavad Ji is sharing with us today, that if we are to bound down the Lord, there is only one way of binding down that Lord who pervades through all the universes and all the creatures and all the beings. The one way of attaching yourself to Him forever and forever is love. And Bhagavad Ravi Daas has this conversation with the Lord and says, Oh Vaheguru, if you at one time bound me down with the entanglements of attachment, I bound you down now with love. Apne shootan ko jatan karo. And do a jatan, try and escape from these strings of love which are binding you down, O Vaheguru. Apne shootan ko jatan karo. Try in some way. It's almost as they're saying to Vaheguru, go ahead, try and escape. Hum shoote tum aradhe. I'm already liberated by meditating upon you. So Bhagavad Ji is saying that Vaheguru Ji, if there's one thing to bind down the Lord within your heart, it's love. It's this playful and most divine experience with the Lord which Bhagavad Ravi Daas Ji is sharing with us. Madhve, O my Lord, Janat ho. Vaheguru Ji, you know, Jaisi Taisi, Jaisi, that which Taisi, that love which I have for Taisi, for you, Vaheguru, you know how great that love is. And only you know that, the greatness of that love. Because love for the limitless must be limitless itself. Ab kaha karoge aisi. Ab now, kaha karoge aisi. You will never put me through aisi, the attachments of moh again. Kaha, why would you do that? It's a rhetorical question. Bhakt Ravi Daas Ji is telling us today that those who have attached themselves in love to the Lord will not be entangled in the attachments of the world. Rahao. Pause and think about this. Meen pakar. And now God says to Bhakt Ravi Daas Ji, well, how much love do you have for me? And Bhakt Ravi Daas Ji says, Meen pakar. The meen, the fish is caught. Pankyo is cut up. Ar katyo, and cut even into, diced up into smaller pieces. Rand kiyo bahobani. Bahobani in many different ways and with many different spices. Is rand, is cooked. Khand, and then it is bitten down into bits. Karpo janukino, and is made into food and is digested. Even then, the fish doesn't forget pani, water. And the idea behind this is that if someone eats fish, they still feel thirsty. That love which the fish has for water, even when it's been cut up, even when it's been diced up, chewed up and digested, that love for the water still remains. In the same way, in Sikh history, we can see by Mati Das Ji, when they're cut in half, they're reading Japji Sahib Di Bani. When they get completely cut in half, our history tells us that they were at the body of Panch Parwan, Panch Pradhan, Panche Pav, Dargah Man. And those two halves of Bhai Mati Das Ji, which were cut in half, carried on the part of Japji Sahib. The story of Bhai Mani Singh Ji Shaheed, when they were cut into bits, they were reading Sukhmani Sahib, and it said when they were cut into complete bits, when all their body had become tiny pieces, they'd got to the line of Sukhmani Sahib, Brahmagyani Sarvakatani. The Brahmagyani, the God-conscious being, is the wealthiest with the spiritual wealth. And it said that from here onwards, those pieces of Bhai Mani Singh Ji's body carried on, the vibration of Sukhmani Sahib carried on coming out through them. Bhai Dayala Ji, again reciting Sukhmani Sahib whilst their body was boiling in a cauldron. So these lines of Gurbani have been lived by Guru Ke Sikh, even when they're cut into tiny pieces, khand, even then they don't forget Pani. Who is Pani in this case? What is the water? The immortal nectar of God's name. Apan bapa nahi kisi ko. No one is able to buy God. This is what Bhakt Ravi Das Ji said. Bapa, father. No one is. In Punjabi we say, "Eh tere pyo da ya." In very tate, in very rough Punjabi, when we're saying to someone else, "This thing doesn't belong to you. Why has your father bought it?" And in the same way, Bhakt Ravi Das Ji says, God is not owned by anyone's father. God is not an ancestral object which is passed on from one to another. Pavan ko har Raja, that Lord King, that Vaheguru Hari, abides in those who have Pavan, who have love. That is the only way of binding him down. Moh patal sab jagat vyapyo, and the patal, the veil, the wall of moh, of attachment, sab jagat vyapyo. Sab means all, jagat means this world, vyapyo means to attack. This wall of attachment engulfs the whole world. But bhagt nahi santapa, those people who are bhagats, who meditate upon the Lord, nahi santapa, they are not afflicted by this disease of attachment. Ravi Daas, Bhagat Sahib Ji speaks, Bhagat ik badhi. Badhi means to increase and increase within me the bhagat, the meditation upon ik, upon one. Remember we talked in the beginning of this hukmnama that we must give up our attachments to many in order to attach ourselves to the one. And Bhagavad Ravi says the bhakti, the meditation upon one, is increasing in me day by day. Ab eh ka syon kahiya. How can I explain this to anyone? Ka syon, to who can I explain this? I cannot explain this beauty of love in mere words. Ja karan hum tum aradhe, so dukh ajhu sahiya. That karan, that reason, being bound down by attachment, the pain that I felt there was the karan, was the reason that hum tum aradhe, that I meditated upon you. So dukh ajhu sahiya. And Bhagavad asks a rhetorical question. Why will I have to sahiya, have to endure that pain, that dukh again? Ajhu, even now. Bhagavad is telling us that I will not have to suffer that pain again. Through this rhetorical question, Bhagavad is saying that that suffering of pain will not be felt by me again, because I have attached myself to one. And Guru Sahib Ji, Satguru Arjan Sahib Ji, tells us this same idea in their Bani on Ang 288 of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Satguru Ji says, Ek aas rakho man mahe. Keep aas, keep hope and faith for that one in your mind. Sarb rog nanak mit jahe. And all of your rog, all of your diseases will be eradicated. Kah Ravi Daas bhagat ik baati, ab eh ka syon kahiya. Ja karan hum tum aradhe, so dukh ajhu sahiya. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.